All right, gang, episode number 2 regarding researching potential agents for the sale of your property. Now, it is no surprise to anybody watching this, I do not imagine that the beginning of your search is online. Of course, word of mouth is a very strong indicator of an agent's viability, their experience. This is direct from the horse's mouth, somebody that you trust. Opinion on what this agent is worth and how they did their job at that time. It doesn't necessarily mean that they did the job you need them to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be aware of every pitfall that might be present in your type of property, but word of mouth is a very strong indicator. We as human beings know that. It's ingrained in our DNA, something that you're not going to be able to avoid. If you get a positive recommendation from somebody that you trust, it's going to weigh very heavily in your mind, and it should. But then you need to go on to continue to vet these folks. Now, assuming that you haven't got any direct word of mouth recommendations from somebody that you know, you're going to be introduced into a sea of online information about various real estate professionals, and it is helpful to have the tools and the acumen necessary to decipher what's real and what isn't, what's farmed and what isn't, what is bought and paid for rather than earned. So we'll go through that a little bit. Firstly, designations, let's call them. There are a bunch of alphabet soup designations at the end of a realtor's title and internet email signature, let's say. CNE, Certified Negotiation Expert, or Realtor, or any of these different things as you may be familiar with them. Some of them are legitimate. Something like a realtor designation means that you are at least a member of the National Association of Realtors, and you are, by mandate as a realtor, obligated to follow the Realtor's Code of Ethics. If you have been able to remain a realtor and have not violated that code of ethics, you can rely, at least as a consumer, that these folks are doing the right thing insofar as real estate law and ethical realtor behavior, which is a big deal. Doesn't necessarily have any bearing on your specific type of real estate, but it is a standard of behavior that you can trust, and it's a big deal inside the real estate community. Other things like pro designations on Zillow or something like StreetEasy or whatever advertising platform you can think up typically are unearned. They're bought. You can, as a real estate professional, pay into one of these top-tier premium programs on these advertising-based databases, which will give you some little badge, and who cares, folks? The fact that somebody may have a bigger advertising budget could be indicative of their success as real estate professionals, but it doesn't always mean that. Keep that underneath your hat. Also, experience is something that is not anything you can repeat in any other way. The length of time that somebody has been involved in their industry is a very big indicator of their success. The number of transactions that they've done is a very big indicator of their success. And the way that these statistics are curated and shown on the various platforms, whether it's the agent's individual website, whether it's their broker's website, whether it's Zillow or any of these other advertising platforms, a real estate professional's web presence and the curation of that web presence and how polished it is a big indicator of their prowess in today's market. Listen, guys, 15 years ago when I started doing this, I didn't have to do YouTube videos to be reaching out to the public, trying to educate them about our profession for any reason. We still had big golden books, literal physical books of listing information, and that's how the general public would come to digest our listings. They would show up at the office and leaf through these books. 15 years ago, the internet was still a thing, but it was a little bit more nascent. But you can see how times change, and sure, you might think to yourself, well, the most experienced agents are probably a little bit older, and old dogs, new tricks, they really can't adapt as well as some younger folks. If you are a real estate professional, it is part of your ethos to adapt with the times. There are new tools, technology, industry standards, methods of advertising like every other week. you have to adapt as a realtor. So finding some old, dusty real estate professional that doesn't know how to syndicate ads from the MLS is not going to do much for you. Granted, they may have a lot of experience in handling transactions. They may have seen a lot of things go wrong and learned a lot about how to fix them, but that does not make them better equipped to advertise your property, which is step one. You don't get the opportunity to negotiate and avoid pitfalls without getting buyers on the hook for your property, right? Now let's talk about reviews. Big deal. Our internet native selves, people who are my age and maybe younger, we know all about this stuff. We know all about click farms. We all know about purchased clicks. But to explain to maybe some folks who are in the dark or are a little bit older, I can call up a firm overseas right now and purchase reviews. Seems criminal, isn't. So the way to sniff this kind of thing out is, do the reviews seem organic? Do the reviews appear over the length of a real estate professional's career rather than 300 reviews all at once inside the same month in 2013 and they're all 5 stars, et cetera, et cetera? How is the language in these reviews? Does it seem like the folks writing these reviews are native English speakers, or are they potentially foreign? These days, with the advent of artificial intelligence, it's getting very much more difficult to sniff this stuff out, but it's important to at least look. Again, if somebody like myself who's been in business for 15 years has 300 reviews sometime, around the same few month period in 2013, it's very high likelihood that a lot of those reviews are purchased. Not only that, but are the reviews generally positive? Lots and lots of 4 and 5 star reviews, but a couple of negative ones, thrown in here and there. That's a more organic generation of review feedback over the lifespan of a realtor's career. Guys, it's impossible to please everybody. I happen to pride myself on a very, very low number, I think 3 at this point, negative reviews over the course of a 15-year real estate career. That's like pleasing almost everybody. But there are things that can go wrong in a real estate transaction that are literally outside of the control of anyone. But that doesn't stop folks from blaming somebody. And who's the typical scapegoat? The person pulling the puppet strings of the real estate transaction usually gets the first blame, then the real estate attorney, or both. But in any case, look for those reviews, those negative reviews, having been responded to. Is the response cogent and kind, looking for a way to help the person through whatever their negative feelings are, thanking them for their feedback, whether positive or negative? Even the positive reviews, are those responded to? This demonstrates a very strong commitment to a realtor's online presence being polished, which is, especially in this day and age, guys, like tantamount to success. You can't really have a robust real estate career without an online presence. That's not to say that referral business does not become the largest segment of a proficient realtor's business, and it is. But we still would spend lots of time, effort, and money in making sure our web presence is curated, because it's important for everybody. If not just to gain new business, but to be able to teach and educate the public about who we are and to learn from us and about us without having to have direct contact. Folks would rather, most of the time, be well informed about a real estate professional or any professional before they make that first phone call. What else to know about reviews online? I think we've summed that up pretty well. We've summed up what could be and what could not be a bought and paid for accreditation. I think we've done a good job at painting the picture here. You get the idea. Look widely, look deeply. It's very difficult to search for realtor specialization online because, frankly, we realtors would like a shot at any business. Whether you are selling a farm or a single-family home, personally, I think I can help you out. I think I'm probably one of the better choices to help you out. Doesn't matter what it is that you're selling. That being said, there's almost certainly somebody out there with more experience than I have in every sector. But they're not necessarily going to demonstrate that online because they want all of the potential traffic that could access them as a potential choice for a realtor. They will, of course, list their specialties, but searching for somebody who has a real focused specialty in one area of real estate sometimes is difficult. And for those, I would encourage you to look for online forums and groups. Facebook groups are gigantic for this. You'll find me in very hyper-focused Facebook groups surrounding my local municipality, Lincoln and Rhode Island. Obviously, Brooklyn and New York City, where I worked for many, many years. All the 5 boroughs, Long Island, where I grew up, Boston, where I spent the earlier part of my real estate career, and everywhere in local New England within a couple of hours drive where I have my largest sphere of influence. Great place to find realtor specialties is those focus groups on Facebook. Same thing with Instagram and all your social medias, so look there as well. So you've got this piece nailed down. I'm pretty sure I've droned on for long enough. We'll see you in the 3rd episode in just a minute. Peace out.